Hi everybody, this is CR number 8. This is the extended response helper video. And we are going to start by reading this problem. It seems very overwhelming and long, but once we break it down, we're hoping that you can handle it as well as the one on the CR. All right, it says you work for the school store at your middle school. You are required to record any transactions made during the week. When you open on Monday, you have a balance of $186. The following transactions were made during the week. First, you purchase items to stock the shelves that cost you $82.40. You sell 5 packages of pencils and earn $6.38. You sell 8 notebooks and earn $21.72. A student returns a defective calculator and you must reimburse her $14.20. And the final thing that occurs during the week is that you must deposit 3/4 at the end of these transactions during the week into a savings account. All right, so we're going to have to deposit 3/4 of the amount. So it says, do you have enough money in the savings account to pay $100 to create a store website? If you do, how much is left over? If you do not, how much more money do you need? Whoa, lots and lots of information. Let's break it up. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight some information. It says we start with a balance of $186 in the account. So no matter what happens in the account, we start with $186. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to do this in a text box so it's a little bit easier for you to see. And I'm going to start with that $186 because I know it's a positive amount that I have in the account. So my next step, let me go back to drawing. Here we go. My next step is letter A. It says you purchase items to stock the shelves that cost you $82.40. Now, if it costs me that much money, that means I'm paying for that. Because if I have some cash in my school store, I do have to pay for items to put on the shelves so that students can buy them. So this here, I would have to subtract from the balance that I have in the account. So I'm just going to put an S next to that. I'm subtracting that amount because that will be a negative value because I have to pay for those items. Now, if I go to the next letter B, it says you sell 5 packages of pencils and earn $6.38. Well, if I earn $6.38, I'm going to be adding that to the amount in my school store because somebody purchased items from that school store and those are earnings. Those are profits. So I'm going to put an A next to that. Letter C says you sell 8 notebooks and earn $21.72. Once again, I'm earning that amount. So I'm going to go ahead and put an A next to it because I'm going to add that because that's money I'm bringing in because I sold those items to students. Next, letter D says a student returns a defective calculator and you must reimburse her for $14.20. Bummer that it's defective, but if I'm reimbursing her, that means I have to take that money out of the school store and give it back to her when she returns that item. So this is something that is also going to be a subtraction. I know it looks like a 5, but that is an S. Sorry about that. And the last thing states you must deposit 3/4 at the end of these transactions during the week into a savings account. So whatever I'm making, 3/4 of that amount has to be deposited into a savings account. So I'm just going to underline the 3/4 because that's the number that I need to go ahead and deposit. And the fact that I'm putting it into a savings account, I'm going to just underline that. So let's look at letter A. We knew that was subtraction. So I'm going to go back down here to my text box. And I started with the $186 in my account. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to subtract the $82.40. Now, I'm not going to put the dollar signs just to save some time. Next, it says I'm earning that $6.38. So I'm going to put plus $6.38 to show that I'm adding that. I'm earning the $21.72. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. And then it says I have to reimburse a student for that defective calculator. So I'm going to subtract $14.20. Once I get that total amount, so I'm going to put my equal sign, I will then be able to take 3/4 of that total. So on your calculator, remember, you can use your calculator. I'm going to put 186, subtract 82.40 into my calculator. I am then going to add $6.38. I am then going to add $21.72. And I'm then going to subtract $14.20. And you should get a value of $117. I'm going to put a dollar sign on this one. And 50 cents. Now, if you went ahead and did it longhand, make sure you line up your decimal points. But that is up to you. I highly suggest you use a calculator and just show your work. Now I need to deposit 3/4 of that amount. Whenever I know the word is of, whenever I see the word of that amount, that means I'm going to multiply. So I'm just going to circle this, and I'm going to put a little bit of a multiplication sign under that, okay? Because that means I'm going to multiply. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up a new text box. I'm going to use a different color just so it's a little bit easier to see. And I'm going to go ahead and put 117.50, and I'm going to multiply that. So I'm going to use parentheses by 3/4. Now on your calculator, you can do this very easily because you have a fraction button on there. If you don't do that, you can go ahead and just write it out and know that when you multiply fractions, you can put the 117.50 over 1. And when you're multiplying that by 3/4, remember you just multiply straight across. And 117.5, calculator please, times 3 is equal to 352.50. So I'm going to put that on the top. Because remember, you're multiplying straight across. And then on the bottom, we have 1 times 4, which is 4. So now in your calculator, you're just going to take 352.50 or $352.50 and divide it by 4 to get the value 88.125. Well, our change is never $88.125. That wouldn't make any sense. So when you have a decimal that looks like this and you have to do some rounding, remember to underline the place value that you're rounding to. I'm going to change colors here so you can see it. And it's the 2 because that's what we round to when we're dealing with money. That's the hundredths place. That's cents. Cents are always out of 100. The 5, because it's 5 or more, makes that 2 become a 3. So the total amount that you deposited was $88.13. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a dollar sign in front of that so that we know that's the cash I deposited. Now I need to go back and reread the question because now the question also says, do you have enough money in the savings account to pay $100 to create a website, a store website? Well, the answer I'm hoping you're seeing is no, because $88.13 is less than $100. I don't have enough money. Now, bear with me. I'm going to try to type this onto this one page so that there's a little bit of room here so it's all on one page. So I'm going to just draw an arrow to come up here so I can finish my work. So now it says, if you do, how much is left over? Well, I don't, so I can ignore that part of the question. But it says, if you do not, how much more money do you need? Well, whenever you see how much more, how many more, any one of those two terms, you know that you need to subtract. I need to know how much more I have to put in that account. Well, I need $100. That's what I need in the account. But I only have $88.13. So let's see how much more I need to purchase. I'm going to take that $100. I'm going to line up my decimal points. I'm going to subtract $88.13. And what I highly suggest you do is, once again, use your calculator. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. 88.13. Oh, sorry, I put it in wrong. So 100 minus 88.13 is equal to $11.88. That is how much more money I need. But when you are answering your extended response, you need to tell me what that $11.87 represents. So I'm going to open up a text box, and bear with me, I know it's going to be smushed in here, but it's going to say, I need $11, make sure you have a dollar sign, and 87 cents more to buy or to pay for the website. And that's it. You are completely done. Now, if you kind of wrote all over this the way I did, just make sure you've connected whatever you got to the statement that it's about. Good luck with your problem. Talk to you soon.